So wait, they're actually admitting the 25% different thing? Because of course, now that they got caught red-handed with it, I am Mecca, and yeah, it looks like Star Trek is officially admitting that this new stuff is about 25% different than the old stuff. I am a consumer advocate. I used to love Star Trek before it really got bad, and before they decided to call you ists and phobes if you just complained about, hey, how come she assaulted her captain?
How dare you challenge me?
Oh, you're an ist. Huh? And that's what you have to deal with when you go online with some of the Star Trek community. There's this disconnect from reality. Like, they don't understand that it's not that great now. And they don't understand that they're changing a lot of stuff because they legally kind of have to. Are they actually admitting it? It looks like they might be. This is coming from what? A fan-sided site? Who is this? Fan-sided. Fan-sided. This is part of, like, Bloody Disgusting and all those, right? Red shirts always die. So this is an official one. Strange New Worlds Enterprise is 25% different than you remember. Oh, it's exactly the Strange New Worlds Enterprise that I saw the last time when we kept seeing the trailers. So they're admitting it. They're just flat out admitting it. It'll feature the same Enterprise that fans saw at the end of Discovery's first season. Well, there you go. We saw it already. The Enterprise is supposed to be the same ship seen in the original series. The first few films, but there's a bit of a difference that some may not realize. Oh, it stands out like a bloody sore thumb. It stands out and is so noticeable that I think nobody would not notice it. I think that it's one of those things that you just can't deny. You just can't hide from the fact that they changed the way the bridge looked. Which is the antithesis of Star Trek, because as we know, canonically, every time the series has reincorporated the original TOS, Enterprise, the bridge, anytime that they've done that, whether it be Trials and Tribulations in Deep Space Nine, or whether it be In a Mirror Darkly over on Enterprise, they got it down to as close to detail as they could, except for stupid Enterprise making the Gorn CGI for some reason. There shouldn't have CGI Gorns. It looked dumb and it looked ridiculous, but everything else was pretty darn accurate, and they went to a lot of trouble to keep it that way. Which is why fans are like, wait a minute, why are you changing this now? Why? We know that it looked the same. They didn't pay attention. They wanted to change it up so they could get their own little merchandise and licensing and stuff, because now that it's all under one house, it doesn't need to be different. But they're going to sell their own little versions and their own little models and their own little stuff, just so that they have their little back-end deal for working on a show that they probably are really only using to have as a resume filler, as something to say, hey, look, I was a producer, just to fail upwards, just to pat everybody, because we've noticed there's about 24 producers on this series on Discovery now. So how many on Strange New Worlds? Probably everybody. I bet Anson Mount's a producer on Strange New Worlds. I'm calling it Strange New Worlds Discovery because it's really the same show. It's just a spin-off. Strange New Worlds is just a bad spin-off of season 2, which had the best episode at about a 6 out of 10, followed by the worst episode at about a 0 out of 10. It went from, oh, this is almost an episode of Star Trek, to dead baby Klingon heads. It just took a nosedive. It just went downhill right away. And the fact that they think that making it episodic for Strange New Worlds is going to be the thing that fixes it was never the problem with Discovery, so they're just trying to gaslight people with that. The Enterprise will be about 25% different than the original show's version. That's for good reason. There were things Gene Roddenberry wanted on the original. Are they making excuses? Ooh, wanted on the original ship that wasn't possible at the time. And of course, technology and design have greatly improved since then, making upgrades to the ship's presentation almost a necessity. The ship won't be making its NuTrek debut with Strange New Worlds. Hey, they're even calling it NuTrek! I call it NuTrek. As it featured prominently in Season 2 of Discovery, not everyone loved the changes to the ship, as the colors were more pronounced. The bridge had a slightly different layout with a lot more technology featured in the ship. It also wasn't the same size as fans remembered, with the original Enterprise measuring at 946 feet, and the redesign made it 1,450 feet from end to end. Despite its changes, the Enterprise will still include one classic Star Trek tradition. The changes to the Enterprise are understandable, but the original series built its sets on a shoestring budget. They recycled garbage and pieces from other shows on different lots and built them for their shots. For the 1960s, it was a brilliant looking set. For 2021, recycling that design would probably make things appear pretty bad with modern cameras. But stop making excuses. It didn't look bad with Enterprise. It didn't look bad with Deep Space Nine. Blow me. You need to make it look the same. I mean, they even brought in the Klingons with the flat heads in Enterprise to try and make it canonically consistent with the other stuff. They're just doing this to be obstinate at this point. They're just doing this to trigger us. They're just doing this to get me to promote their stupid show by doing a rant about it. And fine, I will monetize their trolling. I will do the same thing back, meaner. Oh, this makes me irritated, despite some of the changes. One tradition has seemingly been followed, however, is the set of the Enterprise, and presumably for Strange New Worlds will be painted Discovery sets. That has always been who cares? So yeah, because they're recycling the Discovery sets. So they're making it different again. Star Trek was not filmed on a shoestring budget. It wasn't adequate for what they needed, but it was arguably the most expensive one-hour drama on network television, costing the equivalent of $1 million an episode today. And don't confuse the designs with the materials available. You gotta remember, they were also making 36 episodes. They make, what, 20 of Discovery? And 90% of it is all CGI shots that they lay out in advance. I won't watch Discovery anyway, and anything it does goes against the original ship. I and many other fans will reject it anyway. Thankfully, the Smithsonian did a wonderful job restoring it. You can't just redecorate TOS. I wouldn't, pardon the pun, it wouldn't fly today. Even if people were found who resembled the original cast, they would need to sound the same. The ship could be redone, looking like the TOS, filmed with camera lenses that would give the same look. The cost would be too much. That's not true. Star Trek Continues did that. Star Trek Continues recreated the entire set and the shots, and it looked great. And sure, the cast looked a little different, but you didn't mind because they were doing their best to be those characters. And the stories were doing their best to be Star Trek stories. You can totally do it. They just don't crapping want to because they want to troll us, and because it's a cover. It is to compensate for the fact that these people are not good at their jobs and they're not good at writing, that they have to troll you into reaction. They have to troll me into getting mad that they're incompetent at this point. It's because they have to cover up the fact that they couldn't if they tried. And they are trying in some cases. I think they're trying on Discovery a little bit. They think they're clever, and they're not. And this is one of the hugest problems with modern day Star Trek, is that they have to troll us to hide for the fact that they just can't give us good stories. I am Mecca, and they don't know what the crap they're doing. Hire Vic Mignogna. He could do it because he has. He absolutely has. It's called Star Trek Continues, and that's just my canon. I'm going back to my live chat. Don't you go anywhere. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Wank.